Hey pals, Palomore here. Just starting the video off in stealth today. That's why you can't see me at all. It's because I'm actually sitting in the chair, completely invisible. Quick shout out to this guy for being a homie and being subscribed to the channel. I actually just sent him $50 on PayPal for doing that. If you want a chance to win this stuff, just be subbed and leave comments on my videos. Anyways, pals, in today's video, I'm going to be looking at a bunch of cool rogue tips and tricks. I'll be showing you guys some of them. Super useful stuff, especially in PvP. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Alright pals, so let's jump right into the tricks. Trick number one of the video is actually something that's a little bit buggy. So this has worked with some classes and it has not worked with some classes. But basically what it is if you channel Fleshcraft while you have evasion active, you actually will not be able to get kicked through your evasion. So as you know, if you go with Plague Divisor, Soulbind as Necrolord, you can get ultimate form, meaning you're immune to CC while channeling Fleshcraft. Having this little trick with evasion means you also can't get interrupted, meaning you guaranteed will get the full effect off as long as you don't get interrupted. Like I said, it's a little bit buggy. I'm still doing some testing as I'm doing one right now, but basically this works for rogues. I'll show you guys a clip. This works for warriors, but a feral actually kicked me through, and we're going to test with a hunter right now, and it looks like a hunter can actually not go through. So, yeah, like I said, this one's very buggy. We also tested this with Cloak of Shadows and Evasion for caster interrupts like Mage Counterspell, and that does not prevent it. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. Super helpful tricks. Like I said, I'll roll a clip of me using this against a rogue to kind of show you it in action. Alright, so for a bit of context, I slowed this down a bit. I basically pre-evasioned a kidney shot, and then I start channeling my Fleshcraft while my evasion is active, knowing that I can't get kicked through, and as you can see, the rogue kicks into it. Like I said, really good trick to get full value out of your Fleshcraft, and also a way to become completely immune to CC while doing so. Okay, so pals, for the next trick, this one is one I've kind of touched up in a different tricks video, and that's basically talking about the PvP talent, Death from Above. So if you're unaware of how this works, it basically will let you do an Envenom or an Eviscerate on your target, and you'll actually do a cool animation where you launch into the air. Something I said in the last video is that by using this talent, you can actually use it to chase people's portals. For example, if a Warlock is in the middle of a map and they teleport behind a pillar, as you press this, your DFA will basically launch you all the way through the pillar and keep you locked onto your target. Drake actually did this in the AWC Grand Finals yesterday to get some game-winning plays. Really, really cool stuff. Really like this spell. But something I didn't mention was that this spell actually can be used to dodge CC. So basically, with correct timing, you can actually use Death from Above to dodge all kinds of CC. Basically anything. If you see a mage casting Polymorph on you, you can use it. If you see a warlock casting Fury, you can use it. And then the more higher skill cap things to dodge, you can actually dodge another rogue's kidney shot or even a warrior's stormbolt. This comes down to being a little bit more about predicting, but I'll show you guys a clip of this in action. Okay, so funny enough, I actually have a clip from playing against Drake in 2v2, but basically I'm running up. I know that he wants to kidney shot me because it's off cooldown. I walk up and press DFA. As you can see on my Omnibar add-on, kidney shot goes off. So basically, since I timed this right as he pressed it, I was able to completely dodge the CC and put it back on cooldown. Alright pals, the next trick is a very, very simple one and something that I would highly recommend. It's basically just a macro, and this is a Marked for Death macro. So if you don't know what Marked for Death is, this is a talent that you can pick. And basically, to use this spell, you need to have an enemy targeted, and they need to be within 30-yard range in your line of sight. Sometimes in Arena, you have a passive as a sub-rogue that I can't show you right now because I'm in Asa, but basically you can automatically generate combo points while auto-attacking. Sometimes what you'll be doing is you'll be spamming Mark for Death and Kidney Shot at the same time, and your Kidney Shot will actually go off first because you'll be like chasing them around a pillar, and this will result in doing like a 1-second Kidney Shot. I've messed this up so many times, but this macro has helped me a lot. Basically, what this macro does is it will just cast Mark for Death at every single target that's in the arena. If you really wanted to, you could also add specific lines to target pets. Since you can use this on any target, it doesn't matter what target you use this on in PvP, you're just using it to build combo points. A good example of how this actually works is, let's say you're fighting against like a warlock and a resto druid. The warlock could be in your line of sight, but if you want to kidney a druid that's running around a pillar, hitting this macro at any point will basically use Mark for Death on the Warlock without you actually targeting them. This way, guaranteeing when you get around the corner to the Druid, you will not mess up with your combo points. Like I said, I would just all around replace your Mark for Death keybind with this macro. 100% recommend this. It has saved me a lot. Now, while I'm talking about macros, I can jump into the next trick because it's also very simple, and this is basically just a poison macro. This is something I saw Grayson using on his live stream a while back, and I was like, oh, it's a really good idea. I'm going to make this myself, but I've never actually told anybody about this. Basically, it's just a macro that has you cast both your poisons. So what you do is I have it bound over here to shift 2. If I just hit shift 2 and I keep spam clicking it, it'll basically apply both of my poisons. Since I'm a PvP main rogue, I always use wound and crippling. Obviously, if you want to use the other ones, you'll have to manually apply. But yeah, this is a really helpful macro. It makes it so you don't have to every single time open up this little tab and select your poisons and click on them or keybind them that way. Just a cool little macro to have. Would recommend this one as well, but definitely not as helpful as the Mark for Death one. Okay, pals, so for the next trick, this one's very simple as well. And this one is basically just stacking your Crimson Vial with your emblem trinket. What this will do is, since your emblem actually gives you a higher health value, it'll increase the amount of healing you get from your Crimson Vial because your Crimson Vial is percentage based. So just to give you guys a kind of example here, I got beat down to really low health here, and I just want to show just an example here. If I just normally use the Vial, it's healing me for ticks of 2050, and overall it'll probably give me around like 8,200 health or whatever it is. And as soon as it comes off cooldown, I'll go ahead and show you how much more healing you can do with the health increase. Okay, it's come back off cooldown, so I'm going to go ahead and just pop my emblem and then use the Vial again. And as you can see, now it's healing for ticks of 2,800. So this is a lot of increased healing, over almost 3,000 plus more, just from having your Battle Master or emblem active while doing this. So yeah, this is something that's very useful in arena, in situations. Basically, anytime you're using your emblem, you want to try to Vial with it to get that benefit of extra percentage-based healing. Okay, for the next trick, this one's not so much a trick, more of kind of a bug that's actually pretty insane that it's in the game, and this is only for Outlaw, so I'm not sure exactly what causes this. As far as I'm aware, it could have to do with this PvP talent, Control is King. So pretty much anytime you go near anybody that is in stealth, camouflage, I'm thinking of like feral druids, hunters, other rogues, as soon as you enter this yard range, they basically get knocked out of stealth, and they're not put into combat, but they have to go back into stealth. I have no idea how this happens or why this happens, but I did a lot of Outlaw 2v2 games, and I can promise you that this is a bug, and yeah, this is crazy. I have some clips to kind of show you guys this. I wouldn't really abuse this, because obviously abusing bugs like this is bad, but at the same time, there's nothing you can really do. You know, if you want to play Outlaw, this is something you're going to run into. It's kind of hard to not abuse it by playing Outlaw. But yeah, anyways, I'll show you clips of it. This is something that definitely needs to get fixed, but something you should know about. Okay, guys, so I've got 2 clips to show you for examples here. Number 1, I'm running in. As you can see, as I hook in, Druid just comes out of stealth. And then game number 2, same idea. I'm walking up on the bridge, and this hunter just pops right out of camo. Very, very silly bug. Alright, pals, for the next trick, I'm up here hiding in a tree because I love wood. I love sitting on wood, and I think it's really a good texture to come across your skin. Anyways, this trick is basically the one that was in the thumbnail and title of the video, and this trick is how to basically gain infinite combo points. So this only really applies to Necrolord rogues, but it's basically a trick in strategy I've kind of come up with for fighting against hunters, specifically BM hunters, and that is abusing the fact that Serrated Bone Spike lasts indefinitely when it targets in combat. So when you're fighting against BM hunters, they have their pets attacking you, and there's almost no point of the game where their pets are going to exit combat. So what you should do every single time you fight against a BM hunter as a Necrolord rogue is you should start the game by putting both your bone spikes on the pets. What this means is every single time you reactivate your bone spike charge, you're going to by default get extra combo points for the additional active spikes. I've used this strategy specifically in 2v2 against BM hunters, which is a really hard matchup for assassination rogues, and it's actually helped me a lot. I'll go ahead and I'll show you guys a clip of me kind of how I do this when I engage in an opener. Sometimes I'll even just sap the hunter and do it, but yeah, I'll roll a clip. This is a really helpful trick and strategy for playing against hunters as a Necrolord rogue. I would really recommend starting to do this, and you'll notice you have a ton of combo points every time you use spike. So as you can see in this clip, I actually walk up, sap this hunter, and immediately just put my full bleeds on the pet. I make sure to start with garrote so I get the benefit of subterfuge, but yeah, I get full ruptures, full garrotes, and then spikes on both of the pets, and this will help during the entire game. Okay guys, so for the next trick, I'm going to basically show you guys in a skirmish here. So I'm with numbing. This is a trick that works for rogues and it actually synergizes with arcane mages. So arcane mages actually have a spell called mass invis, which is a PvP talent. And if they use this on you while you're in combat, it actually works as a combat drop. So what I've got here is I'm just in a skirmish. I'm going to have this guy get me in combat. And as you can see, my stealth will stop being lit up. So once he attacks me, I don't know why this guy runs up. This is the skirmish life. So in a second, okay, so now I'm in combat. I'm going to step him, and I've told him to mass, and I'll be spamming stealth. And as you can see, I actually can get a re-stealth off of his mass invis. So it kind of works as a shadow meld and a vanish. Kind of more like a shadow meld because you can get instantly knocked back out, but this is a really cool trick, especially if you're playing with an arcane mage. So something to keep in mind and maybe try to synergize with your partner. I do play threes a lot with numbing, and this is a little trick that we try to do sometimes. Something to note is that this is not 100% reliable. In every single situation, this will not work. Sometimes it just will not put you out of combat, so I wouldn't completely rely on it as like a life or death situation. But yeah, like I said, super cool. We'll definitely try it. Anyways, pals, that is going to wrap up the video. Really quickly, I just had to actually order a razor to shave my neck beard because since I moved, I forgot to bring my razor. So that cost me like $3 million. If you guys could do me a huge favor and leave a comment with a heart or maybe something supportive, tell me get through this financial crisis, I would greatly appreciate it. Anyways, I will see you guys all in the next video.